When I was a kid, I remember my dad coming home about 3 or 4 times a week with something strange, new, or exciting. Everything had a story. My dad would tell us tales of the knickknacks he discovered along his travels. He was on the road a lot, but always made it home for supper. Everywhere my dad went, he always seemed to stumble upon something that he just couldn't say no to. At first, me and the rest of the kids just thought my dad was into odd and unusual collectibles, but it turns out we were wrong the whole time. You see, my dad grew up on a farm, and his dad grew up on a farm, and his dad's dad grew up on a farm. And if nothing else, through the ages, one thing's been passed along from generation to generation: the art of the hustle. The men in my family only knew how to live life on their own terms, and because of that, they needed to know how to buy, sell, flip, trade, and barter for anything they needed to survive. So without any of us ever knowing, my dad instilled into the rest of the family a strength and resilience only reserved for the people brave enough to break the system, color outside the lines, and build an empire, even if it's just a little one. Now, me, I never fit into the mold. Just like my dad, I was a rebel at heart from the minute I was born, and so I too had the audacity to follow that path. I didn't realize how important the things my dad taught me were until I was faced with the biggest hurdle I'd ever encountered in my entire life this far: a total collapse. A divorce, a catastrophic business failure, and a depression so bad I was in and out of the hospital. I lost everything I'd ever worked for, but I eventually shook myself off and decided I need to take back control and get myself back into the game. So I asked my dad for help, and that's when he revealed the big secret. All those knickknacks, collectibles, odds and ends, and everything in between was how he kept his family together from the beginning. Enter trash or treasure. I've always been a creative at heart, and I love capturing and telling other people's stories. So I asked my dad if I could join the family business and show the world everything he'd been teaching me. Although he says he's not exactly a camera guy, I beg to differ. Everything you see after this moment will be real world, in action, boots on the ground, dirty hands, hustle and grind, and all the lessons that come along with it. One man's trash is another man's treasure. It's almost up. Well, it is up.
It's almost electrified. Dude, it's crooked.
Oh, look at that.
It's under your empty fridge.
Cheers.
Cheers. Mileage unknown, and it's going up for auction at 11:30. Due diligence. See if this truck has been listed for sale Friday. Good, you man? No, this is an Edmonton truck.
You're trying to find it listed somewhere else?
I'm trying to see if the original owner had tried to represent this truck for sale and see if there's any other details on it.
Looks like there's a lot of just dealer listings there.
So here we've got a 2006 T600, 13,000, T700, 32,000 million kilometers, 2010 T800, 1.6 million, 35,000. So this truck, doing the math, is 2009 minus the printed date of rebuild on the turbo, 2016, 7 years, divided by the noted 575,000 kilometers on it. It's doing about 82,000 kilometers a year.
So times that by 3 more years.
Got 3 more years to add on.
750,000.
We're just around 800,000 kilometers on it. So that's pretty good mileage. That puts this truck somewhere in the ballpark to buy at auction under 15,000. Probably resell that around 32 to 35,000. We'll be bidding on that total. Doesn't have a power gate, has a ramp. solid roof, plywood floor, good rubber. Little rust, looks like a local vehicle. It's a vehicle that is listed as a 25,000 gross vehicle weight. So it does have insurance claim, and there's 237,000 kilometers on it. I'm looking for a CVIT sticker, see when it was last inspected for transportation to Canada. I don't see any signs of it. It's supposed to be posted. It's annual certification. Every vehicle over a ton or commercial plated vehicle has to go through for roadworthiness. There's no indication that it's gone through that, so we'll listen for disclosure from the auctioneer. Money up in heavy equipment and large trucks is understanding the saturation in the market for that same type of vehicle for sale, what your competition is, and what they're listed for is obviously not what their selling price is, as they're still for sale. 42 of them just on truckpaper.com, all ranging average around $35,000 mark.
That's US too.
That's US, but this is all similar mileage, but an abundance of that same vehicle up for sale. So interior shows very little sign of wear. Pedals, very little sign of wear. Clean vehicle. I estimate it has under 300,000 without having the keys. It's got manuals on it. It's an 11-year-old vehicle. It's 2008.
So even the guys that are undercutting are still not selling?
It's still on the block for sale. This site doesn't show days on market, but some of these ads were last updated August 20th, August 9th, so July 10th last updated. So they're sitting on the market a considerable amount of time, so probably not worth investing in that. Tying money up, like I said, in something that's got a saturation on the market. Showing up at an auction and making spontaneous purchases is the quickest way to go bankrupt. Don't make impulse buys for automobiles at auctions. That's all I'm going to tell you. Your good deal is going to be a good deal for your local mechanic. So we got these 2012 F-250s, work trucks, obviously, box liners, indicative of being a work truck. Usually with high mileage, they're ready for trade-in because they're ready for some mechanical repairs. So typically not a great vehicle to flip if you want to keep your reputation intact. You have to take it in, have a mechanic go over the vehicle, bumper to bumper, and do full disclosure for any mechanical deficiencies, and at least represent that to the buyer. It's part of the Alberta Fair Trade Act. In all fairness, it's the only way to fairly deal with the consumer. Fair market value on 2012 4x crew cab, somewhere in the $25,000 to $28,000 neighborhood. So you're going to be wanting to buy this truck somewhere under 17. Obviously, again, it's going to have to go through a full mechanical inspection. The windshield's gone on it. It's been detailed. That $25,000 retail is fair market value for something south of 100,000 kilometers on it. So we'll get details on this vehicle and do the math for depreciation of about 20 cents a kilometer, considering it's a work vehicle. For anything over that, and do the math backwards and see what a good buy price is on it. 5-liter Merc Cruiser, which is good for a 20-foot boat, water skiing, tubing, etc.
No rack on this one though, so it seems like they only used it for leisure.
Looks like the bilge pump is shot, or it has no battery because the motor compartment's a little flooded. It's definitely not good for the bottom end of the motor to be sitting in the water. Might be a repo. Upholstery's good. No rips. Light fade. It's just typical. Axles look a little bit tasked. Not sure it's the right trailer for this boat. Boat's hit the dock a few times. Marks on the hull. This could be a good buy if it's a repo. It's got a small fish finder on it.
You gonna go for this one?
Yeah, doctored up. Needs a good wax. It appears as if there's no battery to operate the bilge, so we need to get the water out of it. Get the engine fired up. 25th anniversary edition boat. I would say that it's had little maintenance done. It's just like get in the boat and drive it till it dies. Shipwreck Marine. Contact them and
See where they're at?
see if they have any old invoices on this boat. Patch me over to sales. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you. Shipwreck has no service record on this boat whatsoever, which further supports my earlier point about little to no maintenance on this boat. So I'm on hold right now waiting for the sales representative from Shipwreck Marine to get on the phone here and give me what's fair market value on this boat. While I'm waiting, I'll just go to the internet and do my own due diligence on this. Exact same boat, the Shoe Schwab, 1999 Campion 535 Amante. It is right now on the market $9,200, but comparably, it has a Volvo Penta leg and a Volvo Penta 4.3 liter V6 motor. This is an upgrade. It has the Alpha 1 Merc Cruiser leg and Merc Cruiser 5 liter, which is a more superior. That puts us into the market to buy this boat somewhere in that $7,000-8,000 range if we can score that today. And being end of season, probably best to hold on to it, flip it, $11,500, $12,000 in the spring. Hello. Still on hold. Obviously, they're really busy in the fall. We won't waste any more time waiting for these guys. Do our own research. I should maybe just go to the front office or make a quick phone call and see if that item number is already run through.
It has gone through the auction and it is sold.
And it did sell? What did it sell for?
9,200.
And the T7500, what did it sell for? The GMCs?
We didn't record any offers.
No offers?
Yeah, I'm still here.
What is the reservation on it?
15,000.
The 99 Campion RV0008. Has it gone through yet?
Yes.
Did it sell? What's the reserve?
The reserve is 7,000.
No offers on it? Nothing recorded. Has there been anything recorded earlier? And what was the turn down?
Definitely at 95, and he kept coming back at 7,000, and now he's at the 7,000.
So he's had a bid at 7 before and turned it down when he was reserved at 95?
Offers close to 7, but because we were at the 95, he just paid coming back at 7.
The GMC T7500, where we had earlier from our due diligence, concluded there was a lot of them on the market. He's got a reserve bid of $15,000 on that, so it went through the auction, did not sell today. Monday we will probably return and go through that vehicle, see if there's anything mechanically wrong with it, and prompt an offer somewhere south of the 15, around the $12,000 mark. The Campion Alante, it went through the auction, failed to get a bid, probably because of the season. This is a car and truck auction, not a boat auction, so not a lot of buyers to bid on it. It's priced pretty good right now with a reserve of $7,000. We'll be putting an offer on this $5,000, seeing what the broker slash seller comes back with. Are there any seller disclosures or claims on the boat?
No.
And is it a private seller or a broker or dealer? Dealer? How long has it been here?
Since August 1st.
So I think what's important right now is we do our further due diligence on this boat. Because boats are sometimes boat anchors. I'd like to do an overview of this motor and the leg, figure out where the leak's coming from, see if it's hydraulic, if it's a seal or a piston cylinder, and I'd like to turn the motor over at least via hand or crank with a wrench to see that the motor is not seized. Considering the boat's already gone through the auction, the lady at the front desk just disclosed this boat's been here since the 1st of August. So time is of the essence for this broker now. He knows he's at end of season. So I think that he had original price $9,500 for reserve. He's dropped the reserve to $7,000. It's showing to me that he's anxious to sell it. So again, on further due diligence for a mechanical on this boat, I'm going to be putting in an offer for $5,000. We have the boat listed on Kijiji, $7,000 plus taxes. They're disclosing that it is a 1999. Check the hour meter and verify that it even has a battery. It is a 565 package. That's why it has the cruiser in it as opposed to the fall boat.
So it is upgraded.
Yes, it's an upgrade.
Would that obviously makes the value go up?
Makes the value go up. I keep wanting to grab the microphone.